Howdy, everybody. Welcome to Liberty Call. Today is Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025. Hope you're having a fantastical day out there in the interwebs. Another nice day here in Colorado. Sun's out. Not too hot, not too cold. It's pretty wonderful. If I look a little dirty, it's because I've been doing some drywall work in the bathroom, and it's pretty nasty stuff. So apologize for my appearance today. All right. Well, markets stayed in rally mode as Wall Street cheered a new trade deal with Vietnam, and the Fed kept rate cut hopes alive. The S&P and Nasdaq closed at fresh records, with tech leading the charge. Tesla rebounded, quantum computing stocks exploded, and the dollar slumped to multi-year lows. Well, that's not good. But with jobs data and Trump's July 9th tariff deadline looming, the bulls aren't in the clear just yet. So before we break all the news down, I need some help from you. Give me some thumbs up, a like, share, subscribe, follow, and press the notification bell. All right, let's hop to the markets, see how they did today. That's the wrong thing. All right, here we are. Starting out, Dow Jones was flat, down 0.02, 10 points, closed at 44,484. S&P 500 up 0.46%, 28 points, closed at 62.26. NASDAQ up 0.94%, 190 points, closed at 23.93. The VIX down 1.25%. It's currently at 1662. Canada up 0.05. Brazil down 0.25%, and Mexico up 0.85. Headed to Europe, Germany up 0.46. The UK down 0.12. France up 0.99. Netherlands up 0.15. Spain up 0.41. Italy up 0.57. Switzerland up 18, and Portugal up 0.51. Let's see, the Russian exchanges were both red today. The MOEX down 1.18%, RTSI down 1.48%. And the overnight markets, the Nikkei in Japan was down 0.56%, Australia up 0.2%, New Zealand down 0.24%. In China, the Shanghai down 0.09%, Shenzhen Component down 0.61%, China A50 up 0.11%. DJ Shanghai down 0.08, Hang Seng up 0.62, and the Taiwan weighted one was closed on the first, was up 1.34%. All right, good stuff. Let's move over to the market recap. S&P 500 rises as tech rebounds. Trade deal optimism overshadows soft jobs data. Okay, the S&P 500 climbed on Wednesday as a tech rebound and optimism over trade deals offset disappointing labor market data. President Trump announced that the U.S. reached a trade agreement with Vietnam, marking the third deal ahead of the July 9th deadline when reciprocal tariffs are set to resume. This follows last week's U.S.-China deal and Canada's decision to rescind its digital service tax, with hopes that India will also sign an agreement. Despite speculation, Trump confirmed he had no plans to extend the deadline. And I know we had talked about, the China-U.S. deal, but has anybody seen anything like concrete on paper? I mean, I've seen some articles, but I haven't seen that they, actually came to an agreement, signed, sealed, and delivered. So, all right, getting back to it. However, economic data showed signs of weakness. The ADP National Employment Report revealed U.S. private payrolls fell by 33,000 in June, the first decline in over 2 years, and well below expectations for a 99,000 gain. Job losses were concentrated in professional services, education, and healthcare, while manufacturing, leisure, and hospitality saw slight gains. May's jobs numbers were also revised lower. The broader labor market health remains uncertain, with official non-farm payrolls data due on Thursday. All right. At the European Central Bank's Sintra meeting, Fed Chair Jerome Powell maintained a cautious tone, reiterating the Fed's data-dependent stance as the Trump administration's volatile trade policies continue to cloud the outlook. Some analysts suggest unexpected job market weakness could prompt a rate cut as early as this month in July. In Washington, Trump's, quote, one big, beautiful bill, in quote, narrowly passed the Senate, advancing back to the House. The sweeping tax and spending package, while central to Trump's agenda, has drawn criticism for its projected $3 trillion additional federal debt. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Corporate news, Tesla shares rebounded after Trump's renewed criticism of Elon Musk's federal subsidies. Tesla's Q2 deliveries fell year over year, but were better than feared. Microsoft announced its largest layoff since 2023, cutting around 9,100 jobs globally. That is the everything that's going on there. Yeah, what was that last part we were talking about? The big beautiful bill. I mean, they got so much pork shoved in there, man. You could put some barbecue sauce on that and have a sandwich. It's just, it's a mess. All right, let's get to the next article. Here comes from investing.com. US private payrolls post first drop in more than 2 years. Layoffs are still low. U.S. labor market showed fresh signs of strain in June as private payrolls fell for the first time in over 2 years, driven by economic uncertainty and cautious hiring amid volatile trade policy. According to the ADP employment report, private sector jobs declined by 33,000 in June, marking the first drop since March of 23. This figure missed economists' expectations of a 95,000 increase and followed a downwardly revised 29,000 gain in May. Sectors such as professional and business services, education, health services, and financial activities posted job losses, while leisure, hospitality, manufacturing, and construction saw gains. Economists played down the significance of the ADP report, citing its inconsistent track record compared to more comprehensive Bureau of Labor Statistics employment data, which will be released Thursday. That's tomorrow, folks, which I won't be here. I'm going to a baseball game tomorrow afternoon. Astros are in town here in Colorado, so I will not be at my desk. So if you need me, leave a message. Despite sluggish hiring, widespread layoffs have yet to emerge. Job cuts announced by U.S.-based employers fell 49% in June compared to May, though planned hiring slowed significantly, according to Challenger Gray and Christmas. Labor market uncertainty is being fueled by President Trump's aggressive trade policies and pending tax cut legislation. The Senate narrowly passed Trump's large tax and spending bill on Tuesday, which is projected to add $3.4 trillion to the federal debt over the next decade, though its impact on hiring remains uncertain. The broader job market shows signs of softening. The May JOLTS report revealed a decline in hiring and an uptick in job openings relative to unemployed workers, indicating hesitancy among employers. Economists forecast a 105,000 increase in private payrolls and a rise in the unemployment rate to 4.3% when June's official jobs report is released. The Federal Reserve is expected to hold interest rates steady until September, with Chair Jerome Powell reiterating a cautious, data-driven approach amid inflation risks tied to tariffs. Again, I still don't think that the tariffs have anything to do with inflation. I mean, they do push prices up. It's more of a tax than inflation. Inflation's when you expand the money supply. All right, one last article here. This one comes to us via Zero Hedge. July 4th gas prices lowest in 4 years. This was written by Wesley Brown of the Epic Times. So let's see what he has to say. All right, nearly 72 million Americans are expected to travel over the extended 4th of July holiday period, marking a record-setting season for both road and air travel, according to AAA and TSA projections. AAA estimates 72.2 million people will travel at least 50 miles from home between June 28th and July 6th, 1.7 million more than last year and 7 million more than pre-pandemic levels in 2019. The surge in travel is driven by strong demand for both road trips and air travel, with the holiday falling on a Friday, allowing for longer vacations. TSA officials predict airports will see record-breaking crowds, screening over 18.5 million passengers nationwide during the holiday week. Already on June 22nd, TSA screened 3.1 million travelers, the busiest single day in its history, just weeks after Real ID requirements took full effect at airport checkpoints. The FAA expects July 3rd to be the busiest day for air travel in 15 years, with more than 51,000 domestic and international flights. U.S. airlines are operating 27,000 flights daily this summer, a 4% increase from last year. Popular international destinations include Mexico, Canada, Dominican Republic, and the UK and Italy. For drivers, gas prices are slightly higher than a month ago, but remain 27 cents lower than this time last year, with the national average of $3.22 per gallon. Prices vary widely, with California leading at $4.62 and Mississippi the cheapest at $2.73. Electric vehicle charging costs remain stable, averaging 36 cents per kilowatt hour, though rates differ significantly by state, from 26 cents in Kansas to 51 cents in West Virginia. Despite potential congestion, travelers will benefit from lower gas prices and airfares compared to last year, making this holiday season one of the busiest and most affordable in recent memory. Well, I mean, they keep saying gas prices are cheaper and everything else. I think what they're doing is looking at, I think I've mentioned this before, you have like 5 years ago, gold was here and fuel was here. Well, now gold is way up here. Same with silver and all the other assets that you might have in your portfolios. Well, fuel prices are still, 2, $3 a gallon. So yes, in relationship to everything else that you have, all your other assets, fuel prices are down. That's why when you look at the inflation, deflation of energy prices, we've been at zero or below zero for the better part of the last 2 years. But, when it comes to actual dollars that you're spending, they appear to be the same. So for the average person who gets paid, doesn't really have an investment account or anything like that, doesn't have gold in their safe at home, they just see that everything's just the same price or more expensive as opposed to, well, yeah, my investment portfolio is up, 20% over the last 5 years or whatever. So in relationship to everything else, yeah, fuel is cheaper. But unfortunately, most people don't see things that way. All right. Well, that is everything that I had to ramble about today. If anyone needs anything from me, where do you want to go? DSAFinancialGroup.com. All your financial planning needs can be addressed there. Give me a call. I got to feed these little guys back here. So, give me a ring. I'd love to help you out. All right. Well, like I said, that's everything that I had to cover for today. There will be no show tomorrow because I will be at Coors Field during when I normally do this broadcast. It's a 1 o'clock game. So, and the fourth is on Friday, so no video then. So we'll be back on Monday with all the details that have occurred over the next couple of days and the weekend. So hope everyone out there has a great day, great weekend, and I'll see y'all next week. Adios.